Hey guys, and welcome back to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla.
I'm Joey.
And we're going to be taking a look at a flip and right game, a roll and right kind of style game, Flip, Pick, Towers. I cannot say that.
It's hard to remember, too.
It is, right, yes.
Yeah.
I have a hard time. I had to look at it here. Flip, Pick, Towers. Got it.
Yes.
Like I said, it's going to be a flip and right style game where you're going to be drawing and building a castle that has magically disappeared. We are both fans of this style game.
100%.
I like it. It's one of my kind of go-to weeknight games that
Yep.
I enjoy. Simple rule set that you can get to the table, but it's also a pretty crowded market. There's a lot of them. So let's take a quick look on how to play, and then we'll come back and let you know if this one's worth it. In Flip, Pick, Towers, we are magical architects here of the kingdom, and unfortunately, the castle has disappeared. So the royal family has tasked us with rebuilding the castle for them. And so our kingdom here has a king, a queen, and a princess, each of which are going to have some random scoring that has been attached to them for this game. The game comes with a bunch of them. You just randomly put one out for each of them. We're going to play through a number of phases each round. After we go through each of those phases, we'll keep going through them, rinse and repeat until we go through this whole deck. Once we go through the deck, then we will score our castle, reshuffle the deck, and go through the deck a second time. After we've gone through that second time, we'll once again score, add up the first and second round scores, and the total equals your points. Highest points are going to win. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to reveal 3 cards. Once you reveal 3 cards, everyone is going to choose which one they want to use. Any number of people can do the same card, and then you will announce it at the same time. So in this first round, let's all say that we go for the floor 6. The floors are all going to have a number up in the left-hand corner. And any of the other cards that are going to be in there have a symbol that tell you what it is, and then they'll have some sort of resource at the bottom, which we'll get to in a minute. On your board here, you're going to have the different towers, which you can build up on the floors, and then you're going to have the garden, which are these smaller rows here. Unless you connect the 2 towers with a bridge, which we'll see in a second, then you can only put the floors on top of the towers. So in this first round, let's say here that I go with this floor 6. I would draw in here this floor, and I would put a 6. Now this 6 is the stability of the floor, and as the tower gets higher, you have to have descending stability. So for example, I can only put a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 on top of this 6. So I'd be done with that. I drew the floor, wrote down the stability, and now I get the resource at the bottom. In this one, it is a magic bean. So I would take on that section of the board down here and mark off one of those boxes. So let's say I'm going to start going towards that one right there. We're going to clear these off, and then we would go back to the top. We would reveal 3. Everybody would choose what they want to do, and we would keep doing this. In this case, let's say I do the 5. Let's say I'm going to start another one, and I want to put it right here. I would just draw it as well, and then I would put the 5 right there. So if you get a character like this, then you can fill in one of their abilities down here. So if I had chosen the centaur, I'd come in here and I would just mark off one of his boxes showing that I've earned it. And this I can cash out at any time during the game. I gain the other resources in the display. So let's say right now, if I wanted to do that, I would mark it the other ways. And then I would also get a piece of glass, which I could mark off. And then I can also get a bean. Once you get a column completed in one of these 4, materials down here, then you get to take or place that action. So if we ever get the magic beans, then we get to put a stock of the associated height. So right here, I have this whole column of 3 marked off. So I would get to draw a beanstalk here that is 3 high. And let's check out my super artistic abilities. There we go. All right, I got a beanstalk 3 high. If you ever get a completed column of the fabric, then you're going to get to put a flag on your castle here. So let's say that I had right here, and let's say that I had a 4 right there, then I would get to come into here and put a flag, which always takes up 2 spaces. So now I have a flag right there. If you ever get your second glass, then you can go and put a window in one of these floors. And finally, if you ever get a whole column here of gold, then you earn gold, and you put some gold in any of the towers here like this. There are going to be other cards that you can have, such as a bridge, like we talked about. And what a bridge is going to do is it is going to bridge two parts of the towers. And then you can, of course, start building up from that bridge as well. If you ever get the dragon, you either have to cross out some gold because he steals the gold, or you have to draw a dragon, which I'll just use a D4 right here. Use a dragon, which is going to be hovering over this tower and now effectively blocks that entire column unless I can ever bridge over the top of it. And then, of course, if you get a roof, you would go through and put a roof on the top of one of your towers. The first person each round to draw a roof is going to mark off the first roof up here, and they get to put 3 flags on it, and everybody else marks off that first. So then the next person who puts a roof on one of their towers would only get 2 flags, and then the third would get 1 flag, of course. The other cards that are going to be in here, like I said, are going to be all the different characters. And then you'll also have the cards for the 3 royals. When you get one of them, if you choose to use it, then you would just draw them once again in one of these towers. So let's say a K for a king right there. Once you go through this deck, then you would go through and do all the different scoring. So let's go through that, which is going to be down here on the bottom. The towers are going to score based on how tall they are, and that is going to be on the left hand here. So this first one, for example, didn't get past that first level, it'd be worth no points. This one here is only to the second level, so it is only worth 1 point. So I would just write a 1 down here. All of the flags are going to be worth 2 points each, so that'd be 2, 4, 6. So 6 points there for that. All of the banners here, the hanging flags, are going to be worth 2 points. All of the gold are going to be worth 4 points. I used this gold, so I would not get any, so that would be a 0. Whoever has the most windows is going to get 12 points, and whoever has the second most is going to get 6 points. In this case, let's say, I don't know, I have 1, so I have the most. Why not? And then beanstalks, similar to the tower height, they're going to score based on their height, but on the right side of the board over here. So in this case, it's 3 high. It's going to be 3 points. And then you would just go through each of the royal scorings as well. So for example, the king is going to have 2 points per bag of gold in the same tower. This king has none, so he'd be worth nothing. The queen and the princess, again, they're going to have their own scoring abilities. You go through this whole thing once, like I said, shuffle the deck, go through it again, total up the 2. It's going to look something like this at the end, and then you'll go through, tally up all your points, highest points will win. So the first thing I noticed when I was setting this game up that really struck me was the number of scoring opportunities, those scoring cards for the 3 royals.
Yes.
Right? There are a lot of them in there. And I think that leads you to believe there's a lot of replayability in this game.
There is. And it does come down a lot to the card flip, which most flip and rights do, honestly.
It does, yes, what comes out, what's flipped out to choose from. But as far as those scoring opportunities with the 3 royals, well, originally I was like, wow, there's so many. I mean, there's like 36 different ways to score them.
Yeah.
Right? And so then it leads to some cool combinations of how you're positioning them. You can have multiple kings and queens and princesses, so it really kind of becomes this neat puzzle.
Yep.
But what I did find was, in that case, it really doesn't matter who's the queen, who's the king, who's the princess.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That combination, you know,
right.
You think, wow, there's 3 different royals, and they have 36 different, possible scoring opportunities. The royals kind of melt away.
They don't
That's
matter.
really just more the thing to annotate who
Right.
is who and what scoring opportunity. So that being said, I still think that it is impressive how much they included in there, but it's not as much replayability with those scoring opportunities as I originally thought.
Yeah, I agree.
The other thing that I noticed immediately as I was reading the rule book was like, whew, that's a lot of drawing.
And that was my sense of nervousness.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. It kept going to things like windows, like got it, the bag of money, got it. Then you're going to draw a dragon, you're like, whew. All right.
I'm not. Nope.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciated the rule book and that they provide the way to do it, easy drawing style of it.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, when you do to the king, you can draw him. Or you can do a K and just put a little crown on it so you know it's a king, or a Q for queen,
Right.
etc. And so I really appreciate that because the drawing can also slow the gameplay down.
That's the only thing. Right.
Especially if you're playing with somebody who cares and wants to draw everything.
Yes.
I am not. I appreciate it though. And so I guess all that to sum up and say, I was initially concerned about the drawing, And I think it turned out the best case scenario because they provide those easier ways to do it. It's very approachable kind of drawing. And at the end, because of the way you do the towers, it looks pretty neat. I was pretty proud of my drawing.
It does. I thought it'd go towards the letters. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to draw a dragon.
Okay, how'd it go?
It did not go well. Notice my sheet is not in the box.
I did. I immediately asked you when you brought it back. I was like, but where's your castle?
It was thrown away. But it is, that makes some funny moments too.
Yes, it does.
You're like, woo, is that a dragon or is that like a dog with a wing?
The gold for me. I can't get the little gold bags down. They are really hard. That's what it was. I don't know. I cannot draw bags of gold, and I will not be using any B-roll footage on that.
No.
So yeah, I was really impressed with how easy for a drawing game.
Agreed. Yep.
How approachable it is, and so if that's something that you were concerned like I was, I don't think you need to worry about that in this one. The rulebook is handled very lightly and jovially, and it was a fun read.
Yeah,
honestly.
It was good, and approachability is a big thing about this game, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think consider it family weight, but you can play with your family because I did.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I do think that it increases in difficulty throughout the game. It definitely has a puzzle element to it. Some interesting decisions each turn where you have those 3 cards to choose from. Sometimes you're going to take the card because you want the element on it.
Right.
Other times you might take it because you want the material at the bottom and you really want to, I've got to have some gold so that the dragon doesn't so I don't have to draw another dragon on here, and so that led to some interesting decisions, but it does get to be a very crowded space, especially in the second round.
Yeah, because at first all these games, you're ambitious. You're like, I'm going to build a huge tower, massive beanstalk, all that. Then later you're like, or
I'm just going to do the one I can do.
Hear me out. I'm going to give that gold to that dragon.
Right.
Yeah. So.
What did you think about the different characters that you can recruit, like the fairy and the centaur?
Those are fine. I think they added some variability to it. Yeah. The artwork is very cute too.
Yeah.
I like the different. That made it just variability as they flip.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of give you something different to do on your turn.
Yeah, and I believe
and a free resource.
And definitely right. Oh, that was so great. I feel like through subsequent plays, I definitely appreciated them more.
Yes,
because I felt like I said, the game gets tighter, especially in that second round. And so knowing the first round, maybe you're just kind of taking those opportunities to be like, I'm going to need that next round. I'm going to need to change that stability. I'm going to need additional resources, whatever it may be. So you feel like you're stockpiling a little bit.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. I thought it was a lot of fun. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about specifically?
No, I think, again, I think it's very quick. I don't know if it says 30 minutes on there, but it's 30 minutes. You play for the first round, you're like, got it. Second round, and then you're done.
Yeah. The caveat to that is the drawing, of course. If you have someone who's really into it, it'll take a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a 30-minute game, 45-minute game if you're really into your drawing.
Yep, exactly.
For sure. So, all right, where would you come down on it?
All right, I'm coming down. I think this is not... I put this around like a lighter, because I like cartographers. This is lighter than that. It kind of gave me a fun feel. So I came in at a 7 on this, mainly because I enjoy this with the family. I did play with the family each time, and it's enjoyable. And then we really lean in the drawing more than I thought we would. It's enjoyable to just put those fancy windows on there. And bags of money, my family we can draw those.
Really? You got those down?
Got those
Prove
down.
it.
Dragons?
Prove it.
Yeah, it's not good.
They want to see it. They demand to see it.
You don't want to see it. But no, I really enjoyed this. I think it's really fun. I think it's a very good family weight game.
Nice. I'm coming down at a 7.5. I was really charmed by this. It reminds me a lot of Welcome To, which is my favorite.
That's what I was thinking too. Yes.
Right, where as you're kind of, you start, the whole world is your oyster at the beginning, right? And then as you start making these decisions, and of course, the design elements that are similar as well, where everyone has the same 3 choices, and you kind of build your own. You build yourself into your own corner, but I don't find it to be as satisfying as a puzzle as Welcome To. But I still really, I think that this is more approachable.
Yes.
It's handled very well. It's super cute, but it's not, like you said, by no means is it just, it's not a kid's game, and by no means is it just a family weight game either.
Right.
So I think it is approachable. There are elements that I like more than others. The beanstalks, I find them to be pretty, I don't want to say underpowered, but they're really limiting.
They are.
You have to, if you go for the beanstalks, well, that means your towers have to be really tall because you're not going to be able to bridge, which also means you're not going to have a lot of the banners hanging down because that's taking up beanstalk territory.
Right.
Like the beanstalk territory. And so there's certain elements that that I like more than others. I do find it to be a really interesting puzzle, and every game I've played, we've switched papers at the end and looked at the other's castle.
And
that
that's
was
a fun
just
moment, too.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. This is one that I'm very happy to return to. So a 7.5 for me. That's going to be Flip, Pick, Towers. Thanks for joining us here at the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla.
I'm Joy Evans.
And we'll see you in the realm.
Drawing dragons.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.